What is up, everybody? Turboverse TV here today. So we got some news about the whole God of War series. So apparently, God of Ragnarok is the last game in the Norse saga of the God of War for the this most recent generation of PlayStation consoles. And that is interesting. They didn't want to do a trilogy with this one because they says that pretty much that the team doesn't want fans to have to wait 15 years to explain a trilogy. So God of Ragnarok is the last game in the Norse mythology. So that's interesting. I definitely wanted them to. Hopefully, they can show more of the characters, like the big name characters, like Odin. We can see what how Odin plays a role in God of Ragnarok. Hopefully, he's gonna be in this game, in the most recent one, in the newest one. Hela, we haven't seen Hela at all. Who else? Fenrir. I don't think Fenrir was shown in the game either. So, like the big heavy hitter characters that's in Norse mythology. Hopefully, we get to see them in this most recent game. But yeah, they said this is the last one, so it's interesting. A lot of characters. It'd be pretty cool to see them Kratos interact with those characters that's in Norse mythology, like the famous ones, like the big famous ones. So this is the article. They talk about this is the last game in the trilogy. So God of War director says Sony Santa Monica decided to conclude the Norse story with the next entry in the series, God of War Ragnarok, because of the amount of time it required to make a trilogy of games. Other than the sequel last week, the studio confirmed that Ragnarok would complete the Norse story, which began in 2018, or series reboot of God of War. This series will be directed by veteran Eric Williams instead of Corey Barlog this time. Um, and the decision to wrap the Norse story in two games, because Barlog explained, Santa Monica Studios didn't want players to have to wait 15 years to experience a trilogy. Yeah, because it would take like each 5 years for them to do a new game, so that'd be like 15 years total. And they want to do other mythologies too. Like I heard they want to do like the Egyptian mythology, the Celtic mythology at one point. It'd be pretty cool. They did like the Asian mythology as well, like Asian mythology as well. But yeah, this looks pretty cool. If they do more other mythologies, this looks pretty cool. So hopefully they get to doing that. But this the Ragnarok though. Oh, like I said before, I wish they introduced more of those classic characters that's like even if you like, because I'm not that big of a Norse mythology fan, but it's like the big characters I know, like the like Fenrir, like I said, Hela, Odin, Heimdall. Hopefully they can like show these characters in this Ragnarok game. So see people were saying about this. So this guy says it's a bit weak as a motivation. It almost seems like an excuse. I'm happy they're doing that, and as much as I love God of War, Santa Monica have so much talent, I like to see other things they come up with. The franchise will continue, just not in Norse mythology. Sony won't start making an IP that recently reached 20 million sales. This almost makes you wish the game was completely made for PS5 and canceled PS4 ports. True, I think since the end of the Norse saga, they wanted previous players to be able to finish it too. Although a full-fledged next God of War game will be something fire. Because we were going to Egypt, because we were going to Egypt or something. Okay. It kind of looks like the Sumerians. That gives off big Kratos is gonna die vibes. I've been hearing a lot of people say that. People think that Kratos is gonna die in this most recent game. And I guess like Atreus is gonna be like new God of War or something. A lot of those fan theories are going around. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if the guy's gonna do a God of War game without Kratos. That's gonna be kind of weird to see a God of War game without Kratos, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. But a lot of people have been thinking that's gonna happen in this new recent game, so who knows? Hopefully, immediately, The Last of Us 2 was so much better, in my opinion, without Joel. I'd love for God of War to take that approach, off Kratos, and make Loki and the other female giant girl the main players. What is this? I'm going to end Norse mythology in two games. You mean in the Norse mythology storyline, right? You mean the Norse? That's pretty funny. Okay. I shrugged when he said the second game might take as much as the first one. When the first one took 5 years to make, 5 years for Ragnarok will be in 2023. They probably started the groundwork for Ragnarok while making God of War 2018. I'm sad, but at the same time, I understand. I think cinema has programmed us to expect trilogies when it comes to big stories like this, but because of how long AAA games take to make, trilogies just don't seem feasibly appropriate. Besides, I want to still be freaking alive when they finish up the franchise. Yeah. That is kind of true. They take 5 years to make each game. This is gonna take forever, and like you're gonna be like in wheelchairs by the time you get done with the whole franchise as a whole. As long as it tells the full, complete story, that's all that matters. I was thinking they would, at the very least, do three, considering they've stretched the Greek mythology for 6 games. Those 6 games were released in a matter of around 8 years. We already passed 5 years. We count the E3 2016 demo, so it makes sense. Corey's explanation made sense to me. Others would probably try to stretch the story. I agree here. There's no law saying every arc needs to be a trilogy. If the folks feel they can tell it in 2 games, hats off to them. I Wait is putting a hell of a ride. Thought it was done with 3. It was a surprise when the latest installment came out. Yeah, they could do so many mythologies at this point, so I don't see this series can never end in theory because there's so many different mythologies that it can cover. So, um, let's see. So glad it'll be a full experience. It'll be worth $70, and even the collector's edition. Uh, oh man, I want to wait until 2027 to finish the story. Now I have to wait until 2022. Okay. Kratos versus Anubis. Let's go. Okay. This is a good move. I love to see God of War expand outside the Norse mythology. Also, who knows how much Norse audiences can take right now? I swear to God, we're due for fatigue. It makes sense. I would not mind. I'm still waiting for Half-Life 3. Okay. Meanwhile, Square with the Final Fantasy 7 remake saga. It was like money. Okay, just got money to the chest. Okay. Uh, Norse saga ends, then the Egyptian saga or Celtic saga takes place. Only thing I know about Celtic saga, the Celtic mythology is that's what leprechauns derive from, like the whole fairies and pixies and stuff like that. So the magical stuff like that. I don't know what the Celtic gods are. I don't know who they are. What that mythology like that. I'm fine with that. Plus, I want to see other pantheons explored. So I'm hoping either Egyptian, Chinese, or Celtic gods are next. Kill off Kratos. Do it. They really want Kratos gone. Yeah, a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people really think Kratos is gonna die in this next game. So, uh, let's get some Jesus and Kratos action. That would never happen. They are stupid. These people already get death threats as it is for like the most trivial stuff. They are definitely not gonna open up that can of worms. It's not gonna be any type of Christianity, no type of Islam or Arabic religion. They're not gonna do that. They would not do that. I can already see the S storm that's about to happen if they do that. They are definitely not touching that with a 10-foot pole. Those religions. So let's see the quote tweets. I'm fine with waiting as long as I get to see Kratos and Boy again. The more I think about it, the more I agree with him. God of War series won't milk like Halo and Mario. Understandable. It makes sense to end the Norse story because Ragnarok is the end of the Norse world, so they really can't go into more Norse adventures because they are in the Norse end times, which means they have to head to another region and a fight or avoid other pantheons. Okay. I'm completely okay with this. The last game built up so much and they said the game is going to be massive, so I'm glad they aren't padding out to 3 games. Games aren't movies, it's a long form of storytelling, so this format is fine. If this is the end of the Norse saga, I feel something major is going to happen to Kratos. The next saga, Kratos is going to get another chick pregnant. What? What is this? Okay, so he says the next saga, Kratos is going to get another chick pregnant from Egyptian mythology. Okay, that's so random, but okay. I'm fine with this. I would happily wait for a third one, but I'm sure the team is burnt out and wants to do other things. They literally are releasing 2 games within 4 years. It would take 11 years to make the third MMO. I highly doubt we're going to kill Odin here, to be honest. This makes me believe that he either lets us go or we're going to counter him in a later game in a different mythology. Now, I don't know. This randomly popped up. But they gotta show Surtur as well, the person who starts Ragnarok in the mythology. They gotta show him as well. Yeah, this next game is gonna be lit if they have all these characters inside of it. This next game, but they gotta show that guy too, or that character too. So hopefully they have him in the game as well too. But yeah, I conclude it right here. It's like that's the big news is that this game is only gonna have two games in the series, which is interesting. They usually have a lot more with mythology, but I guess for this Norse mythology, they're only having 2, so they could better do more mythologies as well. So that's the news for this God of War Ragnarok, the updated news they gave out. So definitely see your thoughts down below about this. Leave a like if you liked the video, and as always, thanks for watching and peace.